Hey guys, it's Sarah, and today I'm going to be doing a Q&A, which I feel like I haven't done one in so long. Oh my god, I just spilled all of my recycling. I was trying to use the recycling bin as a footrest and I just like flipped it over, so maybe I won't do that. I guess just disclaimer, sorry about the ugly background. You can literally see like bins under my bed and it's just like not cute, but this is where the natural lighting is. These dorms are too tiny to film in and it results in backgrounds like this, but honestly, that's not the point of this video. So also, I feel like my voice keeps going out. You know, like that stage of getting over a cold where your voice like goes out all the time? That's what's happening to me, so sorry if that happens in the middle of this video. Oh, and by the way, follow me on Instagram if you want to participate in future Q&As, because that is where I ask for questions every single time I do a Q&A. And I guess if you don't want to ask me questions on Q&As, our Tumblr is always linked down below, and just like for anyone that's new to our Tumblr, if you go ask us questions, I'm the one who always answers the questions. Emma doesn't really go on there, so if you ask me questions about Emma, they probably won't be answered. You can ask things anonymously on Tumblr, so if you don't want to do it in a video, then by all means go there, ask for advice, whatever you want. So the first question is, what is one of your most embarrassing experiences? So it took me so long to think of something, because you know how like when something like that happens to you, you just kind of suppress it. This question literally like kept me up last night, and then I finally remembered and like started typing out one of my most embarrassing experience that I could actually remember. So basically junior year I took pre-calc. I was really bad at it. I for some reason just could not wrap my head around it. Part of it was that my teacher was just like, his teaching style just didn't really mesh well for my ADD brain. I just couldn't pay attention because all he did was just write things out on the board and expect us to memorize it. Every single test I would do awful. I would get C's or lower. A C was probably my highest grade on a test. I don't even know if I ever even got that high of a grade, but yeah, I just did not do well on tests. And I think there was just one test, I think I had a cold, so I was just like a little bit emotional and exhausted, and there was one day that we got our test graded back and I saw that I got a bad grade and I just broke down crying in the middle of class. Like, trust me, I am not one of those people to usually cry when I get a bad grade. I mean, like, obviously it's upsetting, but it's not like, oh my god, my life is ruined, I got a bad grade. Usually I don't care. I just always have been used to getting bad grades, but I don't know why this one time it just really upset me for some reason. Ooh, I definitely still have a picture of the tissues that I used to like wipe up my tears after this incident, and it was just like really embarrassing. I could not stop crying. Like, you know when you start crying and you don't even want to cry, like you just can't stop? That was happening to me, and like people kept looking back at me because class was still going on. And you might be like, why didn't you just leave class? Like, why didn't you just go to the bathroom and like fix yourself up and not do it in the middle of class? Basically in this class we had 3 hall passes a semester, and if you didn't use any of them you got extra credit. So I had a bad grade and I needed that extra credit, so I just stayed in class and cried almost the whole hour and 20-minute class. So yeah, that was pretty embarrassing. So the next question is opinion on relationships during college and if college guys are more mature than high school ones. So for the first part, I guess to put it simply, if you're gonna spend too much time on your relationship, like FaceTiming them all the time or hanging out with them if they go to your school, honestly I'm probably gonna judge you a little bit. But like if you're at a healthy point where you don't really need to talk to your significant other 24/7, like to the point where it doesn't burden a friendship, then I really don't care. I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of biased because I'm not in a relationship at all, so I just don't know what it's like anymore to have a relationship that's like long distance or in college or something. I just personally think college is meant for making friends and meeting new people, and if your relationship is getting in the way of that, that's when I think it's a problem. But if it's not, then literally like I have no problem with it. But at the same time, like if it is taking a toll on your social life, then that's not my problem. So I don't know, whatever you want to do. Then for the second part of that, if college guys are more mature than high school ones, definitely not. Some might be, but most aren't. Most of them are more careless and mean, so I wouldn't get your hopes up. Someone else asked, what are your pet peeves? And I mean, I feel like just all the things normal people hate, like manipulative people, dishonest people, liars, two-faced people, just like all of that shit. Or you know what, people that think it's funny to be mean. Like, I get if it's like a satire type of thing, but if you think being rude is funny, that's just something I will never understand. Like, it's not cute to be an asshole. So alright, the next one is, when you were a kid, what did you want to be when you grew up? So this is not at all what I wanted to be when I was a kid, but for some reason I would always tell people I wanted to be a dentist. I think it's because one time I had to like write down what I wanted to be and I chose a dentist for some reason. So it just kind of like stuck throughout most of elementary school and stuff. Alright, Alright, so the next one is, what's your biggest regret in life thus far? I guess just like not branching out more, just in general, like in my entire life. It's something I've been trying to work on. With social anxiety, it's definitely a challenge and it has definitely prevented me from branching out, so I guess it's not necessarily something I can help. I don't know, I just kind of wish I was better at branching out more so. Like, it's not really a regret, I guess. I don't really regret a lot of things. I feel like there are definitely things that if I could go back and change, I would. At the same time, I feel like I just don't really like to have regrets because you can't really go back and change anything, so stressing over it is not gonna help, and that's just something I've learned. I feel like having regrets is just a waste of time. So I guess I just like to think I don't have that many regrets. The next one is, who is your style icon? I don't really have like a specific one. I feel like there are so many people I get inspiration from. Recently I've really been liking Tess Christine's style and like Claudia Sulewski. I feel like my style varies so much. Like, if you watch Outfit of the Weeks, one day I'll be like girly, one day I'll be super like grungy, sometimes I'll be more like edgy. I don't know, I feel like I'm all over the place. But oh, and also Steve from Blue's Clues, style icon. Next is, how did you get into photography? I feel like it's just kind of a mix of that I took 3 years of photography in high school and then also having a YouTube channel, which kind of gave me access to a better camera. I've always been very interested in art stuff, like literally since I was a kid. I've always been better at art related things. Like, I'd always be pretty good at painting in elementary school, but I definitely grew out of that. I'm not good at that anymore, and I guess it just kind of turned more into liking photography. What is one thing you wish you knew how to do? Definitely sing. I wish I could sing so bad. I wasn't blessed with that. Do you have any advice for incoming U of O students? So if you haven't seen my videos before, I go to the University of Oregon, so just like one thing that I wish I could have given advice to myself for is to just be more social. If you are not joining Greek life, then I would just like join clubs or a FIG, which is like a first year interest group. You should Google it if you don't know what that is, because I'm not about to explain that, but I did a FIG and I met a couple people through it, so yeah, I thought that was a good way to make friends. But if you're up for Greek life, then I do that too. And just like saying hi to everyone in your floor on the first day of college, like move in, so you just gotta be friendly. Like, just be as friendly as possible, especially first term, but just like all the time, obviously. So the next few questions have to do with U of O, and the first one is, why did you choose U of O? What other colleges would you consider besides U of O, or are you 100% about U of O? What other colleges did you get into? I guess I'll start off with the colleges I got into, because I feel like that makes the most sense to go in that order. So I got into Seattle U, Seattle Pacific, Western Washington, which I was actually set on going to until about a week before decision dates. I don't know why. I really don't think I would have liked that school, but what else? I think Central Washington was one. But yeah, then of course U of O is also another one. And those are all the colleges I applied to. Why did you choose U of O? That's just honestly because it was the cheapest option for me, and once decision dates got closer, I was like, wait, I really do not want to be in Washington. That sounds awful for me personally, so I chose U of O. It's also the closest to my house, which is kind of nice. What other colleges would I consider besides U of O? I honestly don't know the answer to that question, but maybe somewhere warm, and then maybe like not a state school. I feel like state schools are just really hard to make friends at because a lot of people just already know each other because they're from Oregon or wherever the state school is. So okay, my battery's blinking. I really need to pick up the pace. The next question is, have you ever thought about joining Greek life? I mean, like, obviously the thought has crossed my mind at some point in my head, but knowing me as a person, I think that would be super overwhelming for me. So I feel like I keep making comments about my social anxiety and making myself sound like a really introverted, like antisocial person, but I promise I'm not. I just like, I get overwhelmed when I'm around that many people too often, and just like being forced to do that and pay money for it just definitely is not my cup of tea. I just kind of wish my school didn't have Greek life. Like, I wish it just wasn't even an option. I just know of a lot of schools that don't have Greek life and everyone's a lot more like close and it's not as competitive, I guess. I don't know. I guess as an outsider, like, that isn't in Greek life, it just feels a little bit exclusive sometimes. No shade to anyone in Greek life. Like, I didn't have to go to the school with Greek life, but I just ended up going here. But yeah, I guess I just wish there wasn't Greek life because it's kind of exclusive. I don't mean that to be shady, it just kind of is. The last question I think I'll answer is the story of your first kiss. And this was asked by my first kiss, so he's actually like a good friend of mine now, but basically freshman year of high school, we dated and it was super forced. Like we both were just really excited to be in a relationship. I had never had a boyfriend before, so I was just like, yeah, I'll date him. Like, okay. I don't remember how long we had been dating, probably like a week or two. And then my friends like Emma and Riley forced us to kiss, and that was my first kiss, so it was really romantic. It was really awkward too. Just forced and fucking weird, honestly, but he agrees, don't worry. Alright, my camera battery is about to die, so I'm gonna hang up. I almost just said hang up. Hope you enjoyed this video. Of course, don't forget to follow me on Instagram if you want to participate in future Q&As, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Ask more questions down below if you have more questions. Follow my social media, which is always below, and don't forget to subscribe, and yeah, bye!